How's it going? You're listening to the Callista podcast. I'm Dave, and in today's podcast, me and Scott are joined by our other guitar player, Jacob, and we talk about things such as how we're keeping productive in this quarantine situation. We talk about our favourite bands, we talk about video games, and some funny tour stories as well. So make sure you stick around for that. I just wanted to make this little intro just to let you know that the audio quality is not the best in today's podcast. I've salvaged something that is listenable, so don't worry, it's not going to be hard to listen to or anything. But yeah, we just had some technical issues, so bear that in mind. Everything's going to go back to normal audio-wise in the future podcasts, and I hope you've enjoyed the podcast today. So let's roll the intro now. Hey, how's it going? You're listening to the Callista show. I'm Dave.
I'm Scott.
And we are joined by our other guitarist, Jacob. Say hi,
Hey,
Jacob.
how you doing?
Not too bad, thank you. How are you getting on?
Good,
How are you?
Good.
Yeah.
Nice. Like, how have you been dealing with the whole quarantine business?
Beer,
Beer. Nice.
riffs. Yeah, a lot of gaming, a lot of beer. It's good. Yeah, definitely not forming a dangerous habit. Definitely not.
What, with the gaming or the beer or both?
Bit of both.
You said the riffs. You're doing that riff challenge, aren't you? Like every day. I really
Yeah. My boy Luke Marshall said to me a couple weeks ago now. He was like, riff challenge for every day that the quarantine lasts for. We have to write a new riff in like different themes. So far, we've covered Pantera, Batushka, Sepultura, all the big boys.
I
Did a
really liked the
Slipknot
hair
one.
metal. Yeah, I really liked the hair metal one. That was.
Yeah, that was fun. Well, I was going for like a what they call Motley Crue vibe.
Yeah.
We should get a little compilation of your riffs and put them on somewhere social media wise. Like, I think if you wanna hear Jacob's riffs, let us know in the comments. That is the plug.
Yeah, I
for
thought about making
for more
a little...
engagement. There we go. Yeah.
Sweet.
I think you should definitely like put them out there.
Yeah, because some of them have really been quite cool as well.
Yeah. I love the Odiata one. That was
Oh yeah.
the little bend you did. Oh mate, that's funny. Yeah.
Oh, I fucking love
Yeah.
Carl. Yeah.
What games have you been playing, by the way? You said you've been gaming.
Yeah, so I've been getting way into like nerdy ass games like Elder Scrolls Online. This is basically, if you don't know what it is, it's like an MMO version of Skyrim. So like I've already sunk almost 40 hours into that, and I've had it for about a week, maybe a little longer.
Yeah.
So
Right,
yeah, that's
Sorry, I got Elder Scrolls Online once,
Right.
and I got like 10 hours in, right? And then it just would crash every single time I logged in. So, like, I've never played it since because it just never worked.
I remember it used to be super buggy. I've not, like, in the week that I've been playing it, I've not had too many issues with it.
Okay.
It might be worth jumping back in. It's pretty fun.
I don't think I'm ever doing an MMO again because I get too addicted to it.
Yeah, I remember Guild
Yeah,
Wars 2.
I just don't play that kind of game because I know how addicted I get to things. But when this whole isolation thing started, I literally bought a PS4 because I was bored.
Yeah,
And
they hook you in, man.
I got Red Dead Redemption, and I've already completed that before, but that was on an old PS4 that I don't have anymore. So I had to start it right from the beginning. And it's actually embarrassing how many hours I've spent on that thing. And I'm still working at the moment too. Like, I'm still working full time from home,
Yeah.
obviously, but still working full time, and I'm still putting in an embarrassing amount of hours on it. I don't even want to.
Love it.
What else is there to do, though? I mean, like...
True, yeah. Yeah. The way I'm thinking about it is like, when else am I going to get to play video games for most of my day and not feel guilty about it?
I still feel guilty though. I feel like I was up till 2 a.m. last night playing, and I just felt like terrible this morning. I was like, I'm so tired, and it's my fault. I'm a
Oh,
terrible
yeah.
person.
There was a
I do-
point where I was playing. I was on that new Call of Duty game as well. You know, they've got that battle royale game mode now.
Oh yeah,
Uh, There was a point on that where I was like playing it every day up till like 1:30.
Oh man, that's
Like being
only-
15 again.
Yeah. The only battle royale I've ever done is Fortnite, and it made me feel old, and I hated it because I was so bad at it. I just
fuck
avoided
Fortnite.
it.
Dude, I think anytime I play Fortnite, I'm like the oldest person by at least 12 years.
Do you remember that day we played it at mine that time and we just hid on the map?
Yeah, we got down to like the last
We
two.
got down to the last two just by hiding. We were
Oh yeah,
literally
that's a
lost
good
0.
strategy.
I think like as soon as the guy saw us though, like we died.
Yeah,
Like,
immediately.
Oh yeah, the panic sets in.
Yeah, that's it. Once I hid as a bush, and I got down to the last two,
Yeah.
and like I saw the other person, and I was gonna like sneak them, but they saw me moving as a bush, and then
They're like, why is this?
Oh,
bush?
you were in the bush camo. Oh, mate,
But,
rookie
yeah,
era.
yeah. Is that what it's called?
What? Wait, hang on. So you literally can camo as a bush?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
just
Basically,
sit there as a bush?
there's an item drop where it's a bush, and then
What?
if you use it, you turn into a bush.
I don't get this game. This
Well,
game
you don't turn into.
oh.
Well, do you turn into a bush? I guess
Yeah.
you do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we sound like fucking boomers right now.
I sound like it's like, you know, imagine like your dad trying to figure out what a meme is. That's what we sound like right now.
Yeah.
Oh dear. But yeah.
Well, you've had time to kill learning these new Callista songs, though.
Oh mate, yeah. I've been sinking hours into that. Yesterday I got that new down. I think
How are you
what is
finding
it? Like 170 BPM of just
Or just
16th notes for
Yeah,
like
little-
6 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
It's a
like
workout.
Yeah. The new for anyone listening who's interested in what our new stuff's going to sound like, it is basically like it's very black metal influenced. Like instrumentally, it's basically black metal, but then like it's still got that Callista kind of vibe with the melodies and the feels and the atmosphere, the post-rocky kind of soundscapes. So
Oh yeah,
we've
they're gonna hit hard.
introduced a lot more like fast-paced kind of stuff in there.
Do you find you're
Yeah.
learning faster because you've literally got nothing else to do?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like normally, if I'm like working full time and trying to fit in other parts of my life, like all that, like I've got, I don't know, an hour or two in the evening to learn songs maybe. Like, but now I've got all day, so I can literally just sit there and grind in a few hours, which is great.
Sick.
Feels very productive, which is cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And actually, I think my current, like, because I've written 2 songs this week, and they're both like 6-7 minutes long, and like they're both songs that I'm like super happy with. Like, I forgot the point I was going to make then. I think
Boasting about how good the new
yeah,
songs
I think
are.
I'm just
that's all.
boasting. Yeah, no. I think what I was
Yeah,
trying to say is
essentially.
that like the reason I was able to do that much this week is because of this kind of quarantine where I've got like entire days free to just like today I woke up at like 7, made some coffee, then started writing this new song that you just heard at 8 o'clock, and I finished it at 6 with like barely any break. I think I saw you for like half an hour.
Yeah, we went and sat on the roof for half
Yeah.
an hour.
So I literally was
Oh.
grinding away the song for like 10 hours and like made something I'm pretty happy with. So
Yeah, that's sick.
think that's
When you've got the
definitely a
time, you can
bonus.
churn them out.
that's
Yeah,
it.
that's the biggest thing that's been really cool actually from the whole isolation and quarantining thing. Like people are genuinely doing some cool stuff. I've seen people be really good. Well, this is why we're doing this. This is why we started doing this.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think this is a perfect opportunity if you're in a band to like just basically like take advantage of it and be as creative as possible. Like you've got all the time in the world now, so there's like not really many excuses. Hello,
Yeah,
anybody
for
there?
Yeah, for sure. So I was
Just taking
for
it
sure,
Mm.
for sure. Like it would be very easy to just kind of sit about and go, I've got all this time, I'll get started on something soon, and then before you
Yeah.
know, we'll all be back to work, and you're like, fuck, I didn't do anything with my quarantine, which I guess is also fine. Like
It is, yeah.
you want to
yeah.
do nothing, do nothing, but like after a while, like at first I was like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna do shit all and just take it easy, but now it's like I need to actually fill up my day somehow.
Yeah.
Which is why like these
Important,
new
isn't
songs are really great because yeah, give me something to achieve for the day and the week or whatever.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like if you can say to yourself, at least by the end of today, I need to have learned this new song. I'm
Hmm.
not going to until I can play it. Like you've actually achieved something that day, like rather than just I've sat and played Fortnite all day.
Yeah. Like even in these times, even like just I don't know about you, but like having a shower, it's like that's an accomplishment for the day.
I literally told myself
Oh,
I
mate.
am making myself have a shower like first thing every day because I'm like, if I
Yeah.
start slipping into that and not doing that, then like it's a slippery slope, you know.
It is. It is.
For sure.
I'll end up just not getting out of bed, and then like other like it will just get ridiculous. So
One
I'm
thing
making sure
slides, then everything else kind of like goes with
that's
it,
it.
right?
Yeah, like, I'm just trying to stay as productive as I can. Like that's why like we've been talking like probably more now in our group chat than we ever have, and we did like that Zoom meeting the other night. It's just cool. Like it's actually made us way more productive, I think.
Absolutely.
It's funny it's had to come to a fucking global pandemic for us to be like, right, let's utilize our time well. But
Yeah, I know.
whereas before it's just sending each other stupid memes.
That's it. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, literally.
There's actually been a distinct lack of that. I've not even realised till we just said that. Like we
Like-
used to shitpost that page, that group chat, sorry, so much.
Dude,
And
yeah,
it
like
seems
literally
to
like
have stopped.
99% of the chat like lately has been like just productive stuff and like
yeah.
Yeah.
pretty sure.
I think it's good though because like you're saying, a lot of bands are just do. We've mentioned this actually. A lot of bands are probably going to do that thing where they just go away, like they're not doing anything with this time, and that's how you just get like forgotten about, you know.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I tell you what though, I've noticed the bands who are actually doing stuff, like shout out Wallflower, like still somehow releasing music videos. I don't know if you guys saw it the other day. They
Yeah, I
had
saw
one that they were just like they each recorded their own parts, like the singer's like sat on his bed or something. Like
Yeah, with his dog and that.
Yeah.
I really.
I thought that was rad.
Nice.
Gotta use your time.
Absolutely. Right. What else have we got to talk about?
I think you were wanting to talk about when you first joined Callista, like how you met us, how we got in touch, because
Yeah, that's
I met you
right.
the first time until what, like our first practice was the first time I met you, I think.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember like when I first met Dave, I think it was don't know what year it was. A good 6 or 7 easily years ago.
I
Would
think
have
it
been
was
more,
more than
man.
that.
It was
Probably more
more.
than that.
Because
Uh,
I think right, you were in what's
Ad
it
Mortem.
called? The Ad Mortem, right?
Oh shit! Yeah.
And, I remember you. Yeah. So like, how long
That-
ago was?
That band. Oh man, that was fucking. I want to say I was still in secondary school, but
think they were
maybe
besides-
or like just started college.
No, because
Um,
I remember when Callista started, I had just finished school, and I think I'm maybe a couple years older than you.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, this is before. Yeah, way before I knew you. Then I guess when you guys started. I think it was a couple years in when I met Dave at a youth group on Friday nights. Shout out City Coast. We don't have to put that in there. You can cut that out.
Alright, staying.
No, it's staying in there now.
Great, cool.
Just because you
Coast
said
fam.
that.
And yeah, Dave, we were chatting about music or something. I think Dave was playing his 8-string guitar for the band at the time, and I was like, what the fuck is that? Like, started talking to him, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm actually in this band. We're called Callista. Have you heard of a band called The Elijah? And I was like, nope. And I just
It's our induction to
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah.
it's kind of opened up the world for atmospheric hardcore, I guess. And yeah, I remember him showing me Hindsight out of his phone, and I was like, wow, this is fucking sick.
That's like we mentioned on the last podcast that it was 10 minutes long at that point, so you must have just had to sit there for 10 minutes.
I think,
listening
yeah,
to
I think we
Right.
went through like the main parts and
with no
skipped through
vocals
it
at
a little bit.
too, and
Yeah.
it's really repetitive with no vocals for 10 minutes.
Yeah. I remember from like our first few practices, actually, we were still in, I think it was Black Wookie at the time.
That's
And
the one.
I remember Scott being like, "Oh, wouldn't it be so funny if during that bit in hindsight, I went downstairs and got a drink?" And they would, like every week without fail.
I think
Or at
we
least, like,
spoke
2
about
weeks
this
in
in
a
the
row.
last one, didn't we?
Yeah, that's what we said on the last one, this exact bit. But we've already
Ah,
established before we started recording that you're a fake fan and didn't listen to that.
Fake fan.
So yeah, that's actually me making fun of you. There actually leads on. We asked if there was any questions about this. There was pretty much none that were usable because everyone just asked stuff that we just cannot ask. But Phil, who is actually a really amazing guy, did a lot for us actually as well.
Big up, Phil.
Yeah,
Shout
big
out.
up Phil. Like, put us out on his label, put us on shows, booked the tour that I didn't go on, which we can talk about. In a bit. And yeah, but he asked how you put up with our shit, because anyone as well who listened to the first 2 episodes know that we do make fun of you a fair bit. But yeah, let's actually set the record straight about that too. That you're like how you genuinely feel about that and how you deal with us being like that.
It's just part of the fun, isn't it? You just have to take all of that with like a pinch of salt, really. Like I feel like we all give it as much as we all take it as much as we give it. Like
We do, to be honest.
we can all rip the shit out of each other, and I feel that that's part of being a group of mates. You know, if one of us got upset about it, or like if someone said something that was a bit too far, we'd be like, "Yo, that's not cool," and then we move on from it. It's not like anyone's holding grudges, or no one actually like. Yeah, I don't think anyone takes it too far. It's all part of the fun, you know. If you can't make fun of each other every now and again, you're not going to do well as a band, I think. Or not as a band, but as a group of mates, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me, actually. I said at the beginning of tour that Scott didn't go on. I think I set because we set like a set of rules that we were gonna we're not gonna talk about certain subjects, we're not gonna do certain things, and I think one of the ones was that we were not gonna do any pranks. And I think 5 minutes into the into the bus journey after we left my place to set off on tour, Lewis asked me to hold his phone, and I sat on it, and he was like, "Oh, can I have my phone back?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" Like, wait. And the first thing he says was like, "I thought you said we were not going to do any pranks," and I was like, "Yeah, to be fair." And then
like
I just was really weary. Those few episodes seemed like we just bully you, but it's just all part of the fun, and we are just the ones who had the platform to be saying these things. Dave did for those 2 episodes, and you're here now. Everyone's free to make fun of everyone. Like, we all do it.
For sure. Yeah. I think, like, going back to what Dave said about tour and having the rules as well, like, if you're going to be spending like long amounts of time together, it definitely makes sense to have, you know, a few ground rules for a quiet life, you know, just
Absolutely.
so you don't accidentally piss someone off too much, and then you've got to spend, you know, the rest of the week together or whatever.
That's it.
So
like, no matter how good friends you are with someone, like, there's going to be some things you disagree on, and that are just like hot topics that you shouldn't talk about. So you should establish those and be like, okay, we just won't talk about these. We'll agree to disagree.
Yeah.
We definitely have had a few of those as well. Like, a few times we've had things in the group chat where we've had to be like, right, this topic does not come up again. We're never going to agree on it. And it's just going to, what's the point in talking about things that will cause arguments when we could be doing something, you know, productive to benefit everyone?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're right.
These things that we disagree on actually don't
they don't
affect
matter.
the band.
They don't affect the band, so it doesn't actually matter. All of it is stuff to do with that, like, outside of the band as well. Like, I think we all pretty much solidly agree on everything within the band, which is mad. Like, we're all always in agreement with everything to do with like the music, everything else like that.
Our vision is pretty like aligned, I think. Yeah.
Yep. If we're not supporting Slipknot by the end of our career, then we've failed.
Yeah.
So
I think
Corey, if you're listening,
right now, if our first show back from quarantine isn't with with Slipknot as our main support, then we're splitting up.
Oh, that is one thing I'm gonna put out into the universe. All right, so everyone listening, like you send the word to Slipknot. Our number one goal as a band is to play a gig with Slipknot. Okay,
Yeah.
so
We're gonna make that happen.
we are gonna make it
we're
happen.
it even counts if we're on a festival, not on the same day. As long as we're on the same poster, it counts.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
It counts, but
we can still do better.
We can still do better, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, Slayer can open.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind Slayer opening. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Yes.
If you had to though, like other than Slipknot, like that's a universal thing. If you could play with like literally any band, who do you think it would be? Not Slipknot.
Well, like, today, like bands going now, or just bands ever?
Just all time, like ever. They could be dead. It doesn't matter. Just ever.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, I've really put you on the spot there, haven't I?
Yeah. Metallica, but
as long as they play fancy.
So Metallica on the Saint Anger tour cycle.
Yes. Yeah.
And Lars has to use the snare that he used for Saint Anger.
And he has to stand up for half the set like he always does. Have you seen him do that? Like when he just stands up for like half the set. It's like, look at me. Yeah. You literally watch any live Metallica video. He's standing up for half of it.
That's so Lars.
Yes, so Lars.
Metallica did a cool video. They did a live show. It's not cool actually because like they made everyone wear.
They did a live show.
Yeah. They did a live show.
To be fair, at the moment that is like wow.
Whoa,
Yeah, too right.
They went to Antarctic, right? And Antarctica or whatever, like and they like got this like little dome that looked like the thing from Crystal Maze at the end of the Crystal Maze, and they had like 50 people in there, and apparently nobody could buy an Axe Effects at that time because Metallica. I don't know how true this is. So if someone can like confirm this, then that would be great. But I heard that Metallica bought the entire stock of Axe Effects from Axe Effects as like backups.
What? No, just in the world, in Antarctica.
No, like just
in the world.
So
no one in the world could buy an Axe Effects because Metallica wanted to play in Antarctica.
I think from a certain shop. I don't think all of the Axe Effects in the world.
I was going to say,
but like I think they bought the entire stock of one shop's Axe Effects, and no one could buy an Axe Effects from that shop. So if anyone can confirm that,
go to another shop.
Yeah, but no, I think Axe Effects is like you have to buy from a certain shop. Otherwise, like the customs are like ridiculous. I'm not too sure on it though, but yeah, it's a cool fact to research.
And they still can't get a good tone.
No, they can't. No,
except for Frantic.
Well, the clean tone in Frantic. That is perfection.
I mean, you touched on tour earlier, by the way. Have you got any funny things? Because this will be me hearing about some of it maybe for the first time too. Because I wasn't.
So, without wanting to slag anyone off too much,
well,
slag someone off.
That's always what someone says before they're about to actually slag someone off. So
true.
Anyway,
Okay, I won't say where it was, but basically one of our riders was like hot vegan food somewhere. I'm gonna sound like such a diva. Basically, our rider was like hot vegan food. And the promoter came in a little late. They're like, sorry, like the rider fell through, but I've got you a vegan rider. It's all good. And Lewis turned to me. He was like, I bet it's bread and hummus. I bet. I was like, dude, shut up. Don't. I'm like too hungry for this. We turn around. This guy pulls out a Tesco bag, and out of the Tesco bag comes a fucking loaf of bread and like a tub of hummus and some crisps. Like, I just remember Lewis like wetting himself. I don't know what my face was, but it must have been.
I know exactly the laugh he'd be doing as well. That really
high giggles.
Yeah. I bet it was exactly that one.
But just the absolute. I was so gutted, and I think after that, Dave and I ordered some food on Deliveroo or something, which was all right, but like.
Mediocre.
Just that initial shock of seeing the fucking bread and hummus come out of the bag. It's like, what do vegans eat? Hummus? Yeah.
It's sort of hummus.
Anyway, that's my vegan diva moment.
Yeah, that show, I think I was suffering with like heat stroke or something because it was in the middle of summer, and I just had no energy to do anything. Like when we were loading in, I was like trying my best to like get stuff in, but like it was like.
Oh, mate, I remember breaking a sweat like just loading in. Like it was hot that day.
Yeah. Oh, and at that gig on the same road, like kind of like opposite us.
Yeah.
But like down the road by only about 50 meters, like Phil Anselmo was playing a show.
Oh my god! As in like Pantera.
As in Pantera. As in
right.
Racist Phil Anselmo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
We heard riffs coming from somewhere really close by, and we don't know any of the venues in this city that we won't name. And it was.
So I remember coming out and we saw that massive bus. We're like, shit.
Yeah.
Who's playing here? And then I can't remember where we heard it, but yeah, word got out that Phil Anselmo was playing there. And I remember at first being like, oh shit, there's not going to be anyone at our show now. They're all going to be watching Phil Anselmo. And then Lewis was like, we probably don't want
demographic.
Yeah. Lewis was like, well, if they're going to go watch Phil Anselmo, we probably don't want them here. I was like, yeah, that's a good shout.
Did you hear his excuse for that comment that he made?
They were drinking white wine or something. Yeah.
I mean, the things that happen when we drink white wine.
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh, man.
That was hilarious. That wasn't even in the plans to talk about, but I feel like it needs to be mentioned.
I feel like we should divulge now, yeah.
So, anyone who's a wrestling fan will know Chris Jericho, and he won AEW's World Championship a few months back, and he had a celebration, and he was just going through all the stuff they had prepared for him, and he found a bottle of bubbly, and he goes, "Ooh, a little bit of the bubbly," and it turned into like this massive meme, like.
And obviously, we latched onto that so hard.
Yeah.
Because if there's ever a meme that comes out, right, Scott and Dave will hang on to that for at least 6 months.
It's indeterminate though. Like, sometimes it could be like 1 or 2 weeks. It could be weeks. It could be months. Some of them have not been known to be years. We've mentioned it. Some of them have been years.
Yeah. But yeah. So this meme was great. Like everyone. Like I think I was so enthusiastic about it. Like as soon as I got to the venue, this was for us. Were we playing? I don't think we were playing.
I don't think we were even playing.
No, we were just at a gig. Yeah. But I got there at like early, and I was just shouting, a little bit of the bubbly, like to everyone. And then like it kind of like I did it so much that people were forced to kind of like join in, and then it turned into this massive thing at the venue. And then we had a lot of bubbly between. It wasn't even bubbly; it was white wine.
What was it? It was white wine with something in it.
Like Phil Anselmo had. We weren't racist about it.
Yeah, I feel like you segued into this part like, the things we do on white wine. I was like, disclaimer: we didn't do anything racist. We're not racist. We just got way too carried away with a wrestling meme.
Yeah. Do you remember me and you, Jacob, chinging our glasses in the middle of the pit?
Oh, mid two-step, I believe it was.
Yeah. We're like every now and then we just.
Who was it playing?
I think Derelict Dream played that night.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Oh yeah, because we had. Yeah.
I was the guys, right?
Yeah. Oh, was it when you filled in for Sweet Mother?
Great Mother.
Great Mother. Sweet
Mother.
Oh, that's a song.
Sweet Mother of Mine.
I can't remember if it was that night or not. It might have been. But anyway, we got absolutely obliterated on the white wine. I think we had like 3 bottles between us.
That's the most pissed I've ever been, I think.
I want to just tell a story about your exit from the venue that night. How you left.
Please enlighten me.
Well, at one point, I've actually got a video of this as well. I might have to cut this out. I don't know if you're going to want this on here, but you were smoking a cigarette and tried to light it, and you just lit it like halfway down the cigarette. And then the video is just you trying to toke it. And I'm like, Jacob, what have you done? And in the video, you're like, I can't even tell you. And then you just choking on the cigarette. But then we headed inside. So you asked me to hold your glass, and you're like, cool, okay, Matt, I'm just going to go get some air. No, first you said you were going to the toilet. and then you were gone for a very long time, and then came back, and you were like, I'm just gonna go get some air,
Right.
and then you went up front, got some air, and then came back, and you're like, I'm going, and then you just left, and you literally didn't even say goodbye to Dave or anything.
Yeah,
And I still had your full glass of wine in my hand. And that's I think where the photo of you comes from. Like, there's a photo of me with like 3 glasses of wine in my hand. I think one of them is because you left.
Oh shit! Yeah, no, I was. I think at that moment, I just realized I was like, I need to get out of here. I think I fell asleep at the bus stop down the road. Yeah, because I got to that bus stop and I think it was like a good 40 minutes or so. And I was just like, yeah, I don't remember the space between getting to the bus stop and getting on the bus, but the rest of that journey was pretty horrible, which I don't feel like I want to share on a podcast.
I remember you telling me exactly what happened, and I'm not going to repeat it.
It was gruesome.
So this was a side tangent for tour stories. Do we have any more tour stories?
There was. What was it? There was what? I mean, it was just like little things. Like we had our in joke with our driver Jack. I think his name was Bossman, as he was fondly known. One of the highlights had to have been going to Temple of Fun, which I don't know if you guys know. You might have heard is owned by Ollie Sykes.
No way.
Our drummer at the time, Jordan, kindly told me on multiple occasions that it was owned by Ollie Sykes. So yeah, chilling there was really fun. We had sick food, got some beers.
Was, like, some of the best food like I've ever had. Like, it was pretty mental. Like, they had the poutine. How do you say it?
Poutine, I believe.
I don't even know what that is.
It's basically chips with gravy. Cheesy chips with
so
gravy.
Yorkshire as well.
Yeah, but then they had like bits of it's like shredded sausage and like tofu. Oh, it's just mate.
Yeah,
it was
Yeah,
really
I
good.
enjoyed that place.
That was like one of the side things I had. I had like ribs and then like a chicken.
Yeah.
They're all vegan, but like
I was at work that day.
Oh man. Also, yeah, shout out the Hero Dies First for being lovely guys to hang out with on tour. They were real nice.
Yeah,
They were. I met them obviously at the St. Paul's show, and I
they were so
conversation.
sound.
They were really cool.
Yeah, we should hook up with them again and
100%.
do some shows. This is all over. Yeah.
Whenever that will be.
Yeah. Oh, do you remember that guy in Cardiff? I think he's like a celebrity in Cardiff, like kind of like infamous. Like the guy just going around shouting. Was he shouting like "Happy Birthday"?
What?
Do you remember?
Wait, what?
There was a guy in Cardiff town centre. He was just screaming "Happy Birthday!" Just constantly. I don't know if he was saying "Happy Birthday," but he was definitely shouting something like that. Do you not remember?
I don't. Maybe I wasn't with you at that point. But
No, he was there the entirety of the time we were in Cardiff.
What's following you around Cardiff?
He just goes around the town centre shouting "Happy Birthday" or some phrase like that.
I don't remember hearing about this. Or
it was not like a massive part of the trip, but it just came to my mind. Like
I don't remember this one.
Apparently, he's like well known in Cardiff, and everyone's used to him being around.
Right. The Happy Birthday Man of Cardiff.
Yeah. I'm gonna see if I can find him afterwards.
Happy Birthday, man.
Yeah, if there's any videos online. Yeah. Tour though. That was that. There weren't like many like funny stories.
Because I wasn't there.
Yeah, it's because Scott wasn't there.
Yeah, we didn't have the Joker.
Oh, there is one funny story. It wasn't funny at the time, but
I don't even know what this is going to be. I think.
You think? Yeah. When we packed our gear into the van.
Yeah, I'll let you guys tell.
And then
it's actually pretty funny.
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah. And we like double checked to see if we have everything, and we were like, yeah, we've got everything. And then who was it? Was it Phil or was it Jordan? I know it was one of them two who said, "Oh, I hope we've got the lights," or "Where are the lights?" or something like that. Do you know who it was?
Yeah. I think it was Phil. He just like turned around and was like, "Oh, where's the box with the lights in?"
Yeah. Okay.
And
yeah.
Like,
so that had my foot switch as well, which was like quite essential for like our live set because it'd be a nightmare to just sound.
Yeah.
Basically. But
This was like this was like an hour into our drive.
Yeah, we were a good like 30 miles away from home.
Yeah.
And then we well, it was my fault because it's my thing. So I had to speak to Boss Man. I was like, Boss Man, we're gonna have to turn around and pick something up from home. And like, you know how chill Boss Man is. Like,
He was surprisingly chill about it.
He was, but you could tell in the tone of his voice that he was slightly annoyed by
To be
it.
fair, who wouldn't be though?
Yeah, but like he was like less annoyed than anyone else would be, I think. Like, yeah, he was like.
I obviously only met him the one
mind.
time. Like, I only met him the one time too, and he was actually lovely.
He's
such a lovely man.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Can you imagine telling Lewis an hour into a drive that we needed to turn back for something?
Fucking hell.
I think he'd boot me out the door.
He'd be like, we ain't fucking getting it. He'd be like, tour's fucking cancelled.
I should have fucking remembered it then, mate. You mug.
It's so grumpy.
That is actually what Lewis sounds like.
Literally sounds like that, yeah.
Gotta love Lewis. Cool. That's it for tour stories.
Yeah, I think a good way to just kind of wrap things up. Tell me what your 3 favourite bands are right now.
So right now, the main one has to be Deaf Heaven. Since revisiting Sunbather, and then going into whatever the one in 2018 was called. I can't remember it right now.
Ordinary Corrupt Human Love.
That's the one. Yeah, like with these new songs sounding pretty black metal, pretty Death Heaven. Been really enjoying like just the fucking all out riffs.
Yeah,
that they're coming out with.
I want to ask you. I think we all obviously are. All 3 of us are massive Death Heaven fans here. I think it'd be interesting to see like what's your favorite Death Heaven album.
It's between Sunbather and Ordinary Corrupt Ordinary Love. Yeah, blah 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 blah.
I reckon it's Sunbather, mate, because you can't even remember the name of the other one.
That's the one I know more. Like I recently visited. Still can't remember it. Remembered that one. That one. That
should be the
like,
podcast
episode.
We're just in the wrong order or something.
The track I really like off that is called Glint, which is it starts out like real slow, really chill, and then just out of nowhere you're in these massive blast beats, and then you've got like a solo towards the end. If I'm remembering which track it is.
Do you know one of their songs on that album has Chelsea Wolfe on it as well? That's sick.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Really?
Yeah, there's one song with a female vocal on it. That's Chelsea Wolfe. I can't even remember.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they've got that little like piano interlude, haven't they?
Yeah. Chelsea Wolfe.
Sick.
Dave, what's your favourite Death Heaven album?
It's a tricky one. I can't pick a favourite because I like each one for a different reason. Like Rose to Judah is like the one that got me into them, so it's kind of got like a place in my heart as like the nostalgia.
Did I send you that when we were at college or something?
Yeah, you sent me it a few years ago, and then I just went down the rabbit hole of black metal, mate. Like I've listened to thousands
do you know
of
this,
black
Jacob? I am literally responsible for Dave loving black metal, and I don't even like black metal half as much as he does.
yeah, that is very
That's
good.
awesome.
So so then Rose to Judah kind of has like it's the thing that got me into black metal. Sentimental value.
Right.
Sunbather, it's amazing, perfect, right? Yeah, like it's like the 4 songs are just amazing. If the interludes weren't there, I think it would be like one of my favorite albums ever. Because I always skip the interludes. But the songs are like perfection.
I have to be in the right mood to go through all the interludes. Like if you've got the time, like to sit and listen to it front to back, like the interludes do flow really well.
They do, to be fair. It kind of feels like one just continuous
one
song.
Cohesive thing. Like
sometimes you just want those blasties, you know. You can't wait a minute.
That's it, exactly, mate. Like sometimes, I saw them do Sunbather in full live, which was pretty cool. It was like one of the loudest things I've ever experienced because I was at the Barrier at Sticky Mike's and they just have stacks.
Sticky Mike's as well.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It was crazy. But I think that would be my favorite if like
But Sunbather.
Sunbather. It would be my favorite if they didn't have those interludes. But I think maybe. Oh, I don't know. I think it has to be Sunbather, to be honest.
Sunbather.
Yeah.
See, I got the controversial pick, which none of you have even mentioned. New Bermuda is my favorite.
I love.
No, I've not even checked that out. I need to get on that.
Mate, that one's is like a lot more riffy. Like it's got some really heavy riffs. That song on there, Luna, is literally my favorite song ever. Like such good lyrics. Like it's got all the riffy bits, and then it's got the big, massive post-rock bit at the end as well.
Yeah.
It's literally my favorite song ever. I'm going to put that right out there now. And there's no like real interludes on it. They're all just songs.
That's what I really like about that album. Like I think the fact that it's not my favorite is probably down to the fact that I just haven't listened to it as much as the other albums.
I rinsed that one.
But I do love it. I do really love it. Yeah.
But yeah, we spent way too much time on just one of your 3 picks, I think.
I mean, like Death Heaven are worth the.
Yeah, they are.
Worth
Yeah,
the time.
if you haven't listened to
100%.
Death Heaven, like just go and listen to them. They're perfect.
Also, Jacob, before we go to Death Heaven, have you heard that single Black Brick that they did as well?
Yeah, that is heavy as fuck. I did not expect that. Like I saw it and I saw the artwork and I was like, "Oh, is this another project called Death Heaven that have been lumped in on their Spotify?" And then I'd listened to it. I was like, "Fuck yeah!"
Yeah, because it came out after Ordinary Corrupt Human Love as well, which was like their chillest album.
Yeah.
And I was expecting them to go down that route again. And then, no, the single is just riffs. Like, riff.
Out of nowhere, fucking belter.
Oh, also, one other thing. Have you listened to their EP they did before Roads to Judah?
No.
It's like pretty like raw black metal sounding.
No, I'll definitely listen to that.
I've only listened to it once, so I can't really remember what it's like, but I need to go back and listen to it.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
What were your other 2 picks anyway? Yeah, so that took a long time.
The second pick was bit of a curveball, Periphery. Specifically Hail Stan, which came out last year.
See, I can't have this conversation.
Like mainly just for the production, like on the guitars especially. Like I don't know how they do it. Like they get these fucking heavy guitar tones, but you still have all like in the big chords that they use. You've got the clarity of all the higher strings. Like you can just hear everything. It's still like heavy.
It's really good producer.
Yeah.
He did the latest Architects album as well, I think.
I think so. He's definitely done. Yeah, I think he did do the latest one. Yeah. And anything good, like he's done.
He is.
Like,
I've heard from people talking about him,
like
and his production that he is just incredible.
I watch tutorials like with Nolly, and he is just a magician. Like,
yeah. He's I don't know if you've watched it, but on YouTube they've got like a making of documentary for Hail Stan, and they've got a section where Nolly's there and he's like recording the drums with Matt. And then there's another section with him like mixing the bass in. Sounds so good. Like I know they say he's not in the band anymore, but like he so is. He's still there. He just
does do live shows with them.
Yeah,
he's like a recording member. Yeah,
is that because he does so much of the production stuff now?
I
think
think
such a like esteemed producer now that he just doesn't play live with them.
I think that's what he's decided to do with his set.
Yeah. I mean, also like another little nugget. As I was watching Periphery's rig rundown, this was post Nolly leaving, and there was a shot where you can see their whole like rack unit, and you can see all of their in-ear sends, and they've got Misha, Mark, the other guy's name I can't remember, Jake, and then they're all on, and then there's another one with Nolly on it, and it's switched off, and it's like it's harsh.
That's emotional.
Yeah. But you just see it there for a second, and then they go off and talk about something else. But it's like, oh man.
Yeah, that's pretty sad, man. Yeah. So
I like to think that they saw that. Hey.
I was just saying your favorite album from them is Hail Stan.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Like, aside from that, maybe the first one, purely for nostalgia, because I think you showed me it originally. Like you sent me the video for Icarus Lives. And I just hadn't heard anything like that before.
It's such a weird song. Like when you go back and listen to it, like it's just like odd.
Yeah.
It's really good, but like, yeah.
I really liked their song Scarlet, the one that was literally the video is
Oh,
about
yeah.
ketchup and mustard or something.
Yeah, that is a banger.
That is a tune, though. I like that.
Yeah, that's a really good song.
Like-
Go on.
I was just gonna talk about like Spencer's vocals. I know he gets like, he's really like love or hate vocalist. I think a lot of people don't really like his
A lot of
more like
yeah,
singing
some
vocals.
comments where like they're like, oh yeah, I'd love Periphery if their like singer wasn't there, but like
I think he's great.
I think he's awesome.
Yeah, he's
sang
fucking
it,
rad. Like,
Sorry,
have you
go
heard
ahead.
that? Have you heard that high note he hits on Satellites?
I was about
on
to
the
mention
end of Hail Stand.
It's just
Like, that's crazy.
I'll have to show you. It's
Yeah.
like it's mental. It's absolutely insane. Like I don't understand. It's a G5 for any vocalists listening.
For any nerds.
Yeah, for any nerds. As a male hitting a G5
With a fry scream as well. Not just
Yeah.
hitting that alone, like while doing a fry scream.
Was
I'm
he? Oh,
guessing it's a fry scream. I don't know.
I fucking know.
Trying to sound like I know what I'm talking about.
I-
Scott can
I
probably
just
correct me
make
on that.
notes with my voice. I don't really know singing stuff. But
I just yell. I don't have any technique. Just shout. Like, that's how it sounds.
yeah. But I think he's just like using his chest voice and like he hits that note so high, which is higher than what I could do like falsetto. Like
Yeah.
it's just crazy. Yeah.
So yeah, third pick.
Last one is one you guys might not have heard of. I think I'm gonna go with shoegaze. They're called Ovlov.
Yeah, I've heard of them, man.
And I would liken them to a lazier title fight.
Yeah,
like,
no, they're really
some
cool.
of their beats are like real sloppy, kind of lazy, but the guitars are like heavy and sludgy.
It's kind of like dream pop, but more like with
Yeah.
bright sounding guitars.
And
It's
you
really
just you've just got those heavy guitars and then like some just dreamy, like whiny vocals over the top. I'm into it. So
It's like that
Yeah.
heavily reverbed kind of shoegazy like 90 like My Bloody Valentine or Slow Dive style like
yeah,
extra reverb on the vocals kind of thing.
like basically what could have been if they weren't problematic.
Yeah. I don't know.
if
I
you
don't know
don't- if
Ovlov, so I'm gonna check them out afterwards.
Yeah,
Yeah,
do
sounds
it,
quite
do it.
It is really cool. Yeah, they are like who were a great band didn't get cancelled.
Yeah.
That's what they could have been. But yeah, they are really cool. But yeah. No, there's not much we can say about that because they've not done a ton of music, have they?
No, I've only heard a couple of their EPs. The one I'm most into at the minute is called Am or AM.
Yeah.
There's a track on there called Where's My Dini,
Yes, I know one. Yeah.
which is like it's so title fight. I think it's like the direction that title fight was starting to go in on Hyperview, which I really like shoegazy, dreamy. Yeah, love it.
Awesome.
Good rounder.
Nice one. Cool. So should we wrap things up there?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's all I got.
It's a nice way to end things. Cool. Thanks for coming on, Jacob.
Thank
My
you.
pleasure. Thanks for having me.
It was nice. Let's do it again.
Yeah, let's actually do it again sometime.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
That's it. Nice one. Catch you in a bit, mate.
In a bit, buddy.
Thanks for
All
listening.
right.
Yeah,
See you
Bye.
later.